Alright everyone, welcome back to Marvel Rivals. Before we get started with today's video, I want to say thank you so much to everyone who watched my rant the other day. At the time of recording, we're at 500 views, so thank you so much for everyone who watched and hopefully enjoyed. And in this video, our brain is going to be transported into the mind of Guang Guang at NetEase HQ, okay? And we're going to be fixing the tank role, okay? Obviously, like I told you guys before, tank is my most played role, right? We have Hulk, Strange, Thor, Mag, Venom, and Lord, and I probably have a bunch more hours on tank. Tank is my most played role, basically, is what I'm trying to say, right? I smell like shit. I smell like shit, and I'm always angry, right? Just like a tank player should be. That's how you know you're a good tank player. I literally have a bunch of notes that I wrote down to basically formulate in my mind what these changes are going to be. Number one, which is Angela. To me, okay, suffers a problem, and it's damage. Okay, her damage sucks, and it's super slow. Obviously, this is without animation cancels, including her melee or her shield, right? This is just straight up left click damage, okay? That's got to go up. It all starts with her new ability that we're starting off hot. Okay, her new ability is going to be On the Hunt, okay? Similar to Daredevil or Thanatos if you guys have played Smite. So when Daredevil can mark you, he gets a bunch of properties. He gets damage reduction and increased speed, okay? Angela's not going to have that. She's not going to have increased speed or damage reduction. What Angela's going to have is increased damage towards the enemy. So when she puts that mark, okay, that mark is going to do 15 to 20%. It's kind of like being hit with Cloak Terror Cape. That's kind of what it is. So that enemy will take more damage. However, the ability itself is a dash, okay? So Angela dash, but with her sword. So instead of having a spear, because if you guys know Angela lore, she can change the weapon. That's how she's able to change it into an axe. So she change it into a sword, and based off Marvel.com, she is an expert sword master. She has a dash with her sword, and the dash does not displace, right? We don't need Angela with another CC ability. That would be hell on earth. But hitting the sword, okay, will grant the mark that lets you hunt, okay? And the hunt doesn't go away until you kill them, or they are killed, okay? And then once they're killed, it wasn't on the notes, but I'm thinking about it, that you'll get 100 overshield, which decays over 2 seconds, okay? And we're going to do that because we're reducing Angela's base health by 50, okay? And that leads to the biggest change, which is her ultimate. Okay, so let's actually take this off here. And I want to thank my friend, because without my friend, half this video would not be possible. We tested a lot of this stuff out. Okay, this ultimate, let's see how much damage it does. Look at that. Look at that damage over time. Like, look at that. That's pitiful. This is supposed to be Angel of Heaven, by the way. That's horrible damage. Horrible. And it has a health bar. The spear has a health bar. I'm pretty sure it's like 800. I'm not entirely sure, but it could be bursted down. So first thing we're doing, no longer health on the spear, okay? Just a set timer. Then we're increasing the damage over time. It is 5 per tick. We're going to make it 10 per tick. Okay, and the last part of the ultimate, okay, it's not going to stun. I don't want it to stun. But right now, it binds the enemy, correct? And inside here, you can move decently, like decent. It's the further you get out, you get like a little bit slowed, and then you like are like this, like that, trying to get out. No. If I hit you near the center, like let's say I hit you right there, you don't get bounced out, okay? You stay, and the closer you are to the center of the spear, you're super slowed. Like you're like 60 to 50% slowed, and then the further you get out, it goes like 40, 30% slow. Am I cooking with Angela or am I not cooking? I'm gonna ask this at the end of all of them, so let me know. W or L changes for Angela. Next we have Hulk. Alright, and we're gonna let Hulk smash. Alright, and the first thing we're gonna change is his World Breaker. His World Breaker takes around, I'm pretty sure it's 6-second animation to finish. Let's say 4 to 6 seconds to finish, okay? Hulk has 12 seconds in his ultimate. That's a third to basically half of his ultimate on a stupid animation that does 200 damage, which enemies are allowed to heal their allies being smashed. We are changing that. No longer will World Breaker cost any amount of time in your ultimate, okay? You could use it at the beginning, the middle, or the end. It doesn't matter. It won't take any time, okay? Next thing we're doing is we're increasing the amount of damage it does, okay? It should not only do 200 damage. That to me is dumb. You are literally Hulk smashing. You are the World Breaker, okay? We're gonna do more than 200 damage. We're buffing it up to 300 damage, okay? So it can kill everything that's not a tank in the game. Okay, I think instead of like Fantastic and Wolverine that have like 325 or 350, whatever. Okay, but you're basically gonna be able to kill everything if they're not being healed, and I think that's okay. Okay, that is okay. The next thing we're doing in his ultimate is we're giving him a shield. Okay, I think CC immunity is ridiculous. I don't think that's the answer. That is not the answer. That would be way too much considering the amount of damage he's able to do just with this button, right? That's not okay. But giving him a shield will help him from getting burst down like crazy when he pops his ultimate. And I don't want Hulk ultimate to be a stall ult. That's not how I want his ultimate to be. But I also want him to be able to like play the game and use his ultimate, right? Like I want him to be able to survive and use his ult for more than 5 seconds. His shield will stop him from getting stunned by Luna, by Phoenix, by Hela, etc. A lot of the meta characters in the game. And it'll also increase his survivability, right? So he doesn't just get bursted down. The next thing I want to do, add a rage meter. Why are we talking about the Hulk and there's nothing on rage? That makes no sense. So the rage meter I propose is probably something similar to you seen, you know, everywhere, right? On TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube. Rage meter where the more damage he takes, the more damage he does. The more damage he takes, either healing over time or damage resistance. I prefer healing over time because he has a healing factor that is probably the best in Marvel, but something of that sort, right? Either decrease cooldowns, but I think the most probable thing it should do is definitely is increase his damage and healing, because the biggest thing about Hulk is his sustainability and his damage. Those are his weakest points. Well, having a rage meter that can solve both while fitting the character would be amazing. And the last buff I'm giving Hulk is his jump. Okay, I don't know how many for certain, okay, but I know there's at least 40 abilities in the game that take Hulk out of his jump. And when Hulk is taken out of his jump, he loses his charge. So he's just permanently like this, like he's riding, okay? We can't be doing that shit, okay? We have to be able to be displaced. I'm okay with that, I understand. But don't let me lose my charge for Hulk. W or L, Hulk changes from a Hulk main. Next, we have Captain America. Okay. First thing I'm changing about Cap is his shield. Okay. His shield. Can you hear me? Thank you, buddy. It takes 4 seconds. You just have to trust me, okay? You just have to trust me. It takes 4 seconds to start healing. That's going to be changed. We're reducing that to 2 seconds. The next thing we're going to be doing is increasing his damage on his left click. We're going to be increasing his damage on this dash as well. And we're going to be increasing his damage on his diving strike. We're increasing damage across the board. And there's a reason for this. Because we are reducing, or rather, we are placing a cooldown on his jump. Jump infinitely is no longer going to happen. To offset this, you're getting more damage, and your shield's going to be up longer because it's going to recover faster. I feel like that is a fair trade-off for any Cap player. You want more damage, you get it. But at the cost of your survivability, you have to play a bit smarter, okay? However, another nerf is going to be this dash. This dash currently has a 10-second cooldown, but since we're giving it more damage, it's going to be on a 12-second cooldown. I feel like, again, that is fair. Captain America's ultimate, it's fine to me. It's not going to be touched. W or L changes for Cap. Next, we are doing the Eye of Mama Coco. Okay. Strange to me is a very good tank. He's very fair. Okay. The problem with Strange. What am I doing? Why is he on this video, right? What I'm going to take out from Strange is his defensive capability. We're reducing his shield. Okay. His shield is ridiculously strong. It's huge. It has 800 health. He already has 675 health. He doesn't need that, considering the offensive pressure that he's able to put, right? They nerfed the E cooldown, right? They buffed its conversion damage. They gave him more ammo. Like, he's super offensive. He doesn't need an 800 health shield, so we're reducing that by 100, okay? But he's gonna get an increased, like, refresh rate of his shield. So let's see how long it takes for his shield to gain HP, right? We're gonna lose 100. We're gonna go back to 700. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. So it's basically 3 seconds to gain 100 shield. We're gonna basically put that time down by 1 second. So it's gonna be 2 seconds to gain 100. So I don't know the math to get up from 0 to 700. You do that shit if you want. I'm not a math major. Okay, I won't claim to be. Okay, but that's his only change. I think decreasing his defensive capabilities while keeping his offensive capabilities the same, I feel like is completely fair. Just, I don't want to keep Strange overtuned, how he currently is. I think he's fair, don't get me wrong, but he's still a top 3 tank in the game, and we're gonna have to nerf him. Next, we have Magneto. Okay, and a lot of you stick with me, bro. This is the character I probably have the most hours in. You have to let me cook. Okay, so first thing we're doing is his ally bubble is gaining increased cooldown. I know it says 10 seconds or 12 seconds, but in reality, okay, it's 10 because the time that the spell cast is done, it's 10. So we're gonna increase the cooldown to 13 seconds. Okay, this shield is gonna stay the same. All right, the next thing we're doing, this shield, he gets it back too quickly, in my opinion. He gets it back way too quickly. 2 seconds and he can put it up again. And the thing on the right doesn't matter because there's no health on this shield, okay? So we're going to increase that cooldown from 2 to 4 seconds, okay? Next thing we're going to do is basically the same way that Hulk gains ult charge once his shield breaks, okay? That's going to happen for Magneto. And the reason I'm saying this, and that happens for ally shield and self shield, he gets that with his right click, okay? But what we're going to do is give it to his ult charge, okay? Because his ult, he gains it extremely slow because they reduce the rate he gets it at, okay? The only way to get it fast is with Gambit. And how often is Gambit in your ranked games? Never, okay? But Magneto is one of the best at countering support ults, and supports are the strongest role in the game. So a good mag will be rewarded by protecting himself and his allies by being able to get his ultimate to be able to kill support ultimates. Or DPS ultimates, or however you want to use it, but it gives you your ultimate, okay? And your ultimate will stay the same. Ultimate has no changes, okay? And it's just because he has the most offensive capability in the game. Like, just blatantly. It's way too much, way too overtuned, and it needs to be nerfed. So, WRL change, let me know. Venom, and Venom has a litany of changes, okay? Because I love Venom, but we can be honest, 825 health is ridiculous. So let's go over the easy ones first, and then we'll go back. Okay, so basically, we're going to give more damage to this ability. If we remember correctly from the testing we did, it does 65 damage. We're going to make it do 75 damage, okay? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to reduce his base health from 825 to 750, okay? And there's a reason for this, so you just got to stick with me. The next thing we're doing is we're going to give his ultimate less conversion rate on his health, because right now it's at 1.3, we're reducing it back to 1.1, and we are also going to get rid of the, let me get my ultimate again. We're also going to get rid of the 30% anti-heal it gives, and we're putting it down to 20%, because 30% is a bit OD. Okay, that's a bit much. So, what is the change? It just sounds like I'm just nerfing the shit out of Venom, right? Besides the one little buff I'm giving to his dive, okay, what am I actually doing here? Okay, let me cook. Alright, so his right click is going to have an AoE effect, okay? With everyone within 5 meters, it's going to take, like, damage of shrapnel, right? It's like an explosion. So that's what we're going to do, right? We're going to increase the damage of his right click, and we're going to then give an AoE effect, which does more damage to anyone that's near the allies, okay? Then, this is the big one, the passive ability. This is a new one. I don't have a name for this one yet. But this passive, okay, is that he gains overshield by killing enemies, okay? And the reason I picked this is because Venom eats people. Just keep it a buck. You know, eyes, lungs, pancreas. We all know that line, right? So he likes eating his enemies. So what we're going to do is, instead of just, you know, giving Venom 825 health and an 1,000 overshield, right? We're going to make people earn it. You know, and his, you know, ultimate, giving him a bunch of fucking, bunch of overshield. Make him earn it. If you get kills, you get 100 overshield. This stacks all the way to 6. So you will be able, from 750 to be able to get 1350 if you kill all 6 enemies. Now, I'm still up in the air if only final hits should count or just like assisted kills. That's still up in the air, but that would have to be thought about like a lot more, because that might be a little too much, because all you have to do is just touch an enemy to get a kill. So it might just have to be final hits, but I want to encourage skill. Okay, encourage skill for survivability. This ability, which for me it's 2, I think for a lot of people it's E. Instead of a 12-second cooldown, it's going to 15-second cooldown. I know it says 15, but when the animation's done, it's 12. So you're gonna have to wait the true 15 seconds. So is that W or L for Venom? Next, let's do Groot. I'm skipping ahead, but Groot to me doesn't have many changes. Groot, This one has 600 health. We're making it 500 health. We're keeping the CC immunity, okay? I don't hate all group players. Yes, I do. The next thing, we're lowering the amount of damage this does. Does way too much damage. Way too much damage. And the last thing we're doing is we're nerfing right clicks cooldown. It's going from 6 to 8 seconds. I'm not going to change his ultimate. I'm not going to change his health on this iron Vinewood wall. Just a little bit of damage, a little bit of health, and his right click, which enables the damage, is going to be nerfed just a bit, just by 2 seconds. Other than that, no group changes. Okay. Next, let's talk about Penny Parker. Penny Parker has another lineage changes, because Penny Parker sucks. Penny Parker sucks. So let's do some math here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, that took 7, and she has 275 health.
Step aside, you git.
Ah, man, I was gonna do the math in my head, but then I realized I'm not that guy. So 275 divided by 7 equals. So that means each shot is doing 40 damage basically. That's 39.2. So 40 damage. We're gonna increase that by 5. Crit increase by 5. Regular left click by 5. Penny needs to do a little more damage. To offset this, okay, we're lowering her right click cooldown. Stun every 3 seconds. I don't care who calls me a noob. That shit is annoying. That's going to be increased to every 6 seconds. 6 seconds. Okay. Then, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to reduce Penny's health from 750 to 700. Why do I do this? Because she's always playing on her pod. Okay. And in her pod, she gains overshield. Right? And if you have your web, you could get up to 900 really quick. Why? Why does she need 750 health? 700 is just fine. She doesn't need that much health. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is her ultimate. Penny has one of the worst ultimates in the entire game. Alright. Horrible. It's horrible, horrible, horrible. Okay. Her left click, I believe, does 55 damage, if I remember correctly. We're gonna increase that to 65. We're gonna do 10 more damage. The next thing you guys might hate. Okay. Also Bloodstone's Gotrox, or whatever the hell she calls it, okay, that property of picking up enemies, we're going to give to Penny Parker, okay? If Penny Parker hits an enemy like this, she's not going to do this. She's going to displace them, okay? And, after, she's gonna, just seeing all the kills because of this is so stupid. But basically she's going to displace them like Gotrox. That's kind of the point, okay? However, if she stuns them into the wall, oh, spoiler, if she hits them into the wall, they get stunned for a second. Okay, which lets her then kill her with mines, place mines, kill them with the advanced sweep. It's just to give Penny more options. And the last thing is that she will also be getting displacement immunity like Hulk in her ultimate. Okay, so she can still be stunned, but she cannot be displaced anymore. So let's talk about the thing. And I hate this playstyle of the thing. This playstyle right here, of just spamming one button the entire game. Guys, we're tank mains. We're not rocket players, okay? We're not rocket players. We're better than that. We're gonna play with more than one button, okay? So, instead of getting 80 overshield, you're gonna get 50. And instead of having no cooldown on a right click, let me make sure that I'm not cooking myself. Okay, instead of having no cooldown on right click, we're giving it a 4-second cooldown. Everything else, the damage, the percent damage it does, everything's the same. It's just getting a cooldown and an overshield reduction. Why am I doing this? Thing, we're giving him 100 base health. Why? Because he struggles into poke slap, so he's getting 100 base health. Okay, he's able to get 50 overshield with right click. The next thing we're doing is we're decreasing the amount of time you're earthbound. You're earthbound for over 5 seconds. That's a bit crazy. Okay, that needs to be nerfed because that means characters like Iron Fist, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Magic, these guys cannot play the game, and that is not fun. Okay, that's not fair. I understand he was made to like counter dive players, but that doesn't mean just because I can, you know, press a couple buttons and just do this, you know, something like that, and they can't play the game. That to me is not skillful. That's stupid. So that's out. That is out. I'm not reducing the cooldown on this dash because by the time the animation's over, I think it's 6 seconds, and I feel like a 6-second is fine. Let's see. It's basically 5 to 6 seconds. That doesn't need a reducing cooldown. What is getting reduced in cooldown is both his jumps. So the cooldown, like I said, will be reduced. The amount of shield he gives an ally will stay the same, but the amount of damage, like, I guess, taken by the enemy will lower. I think it's 20%. I may be wrong. We're going to lower that to 15%. Okay, because he's going to have it more often. obviously the damage reduction needs to be down. We know those are W or L changes. Next, the White Queen, Emma Frost. Okay, and the first thing we're gonna do is change her left click. Emma Frost's left click is one of the most oppressive parts in the game, or rather, the first thing we're gonna change is Emma Frost's left click. It is one of the most oppressive things in the entire game. It's ridiculous. Okay, so we are nerfing the conversion rate, as you can see, and we're gonna nerf the top end damage. Okay, we're nerfing it because her left click is way too easy to get to 100, way too easy to keep with 100, and it just does way too much damage. And the range, I think, is like 18 meters. That's ridiculous, guys. That's ridiculous. So that's being nerfed. Now, don't kill me, Emma Frost players. Even though I hate you guys, I'm not unfair. Okay. First thing we're doing for buffs, Diamond Form. Everyone complained about it, including myself. Skill issue. We are nerfing. It goes from 18 seconds back to 15 seconds. Okay. 15 seconds. 3-second reduced cooldown on Diamond Form. I feel like that's fair. Next thing we're doing, her shield. Her shield is being increased from 400 to 500. However, to compensate for that gain, we're going to increase the amount of time it takes to get back up to 500. Okay. The next thing we're doing, her ultimate. It lasts 6 seconds. But look how slow she moves in this. Okay. We're going to be increasing her movement speed while in her ultimate form. Okay. So you're going to be able to get more people before they just use an escape ability, they're cleansed, etc. You're able to at least get some people respecting your ultimate. Those are the changes for Emma Frost. Thor, we are going to be changing a little bit. So again, another smite time. If anyone has ever played smite, when Thor goes up in the air, he's able to pick anywhere on the map and he can traverse and just go boom, and everyone's stunned. So it's kind of like Thor's ultimate now, right? But instead of just this, you'd be up in the map and be able to choose where you want to go. And then you just go there, right? So you can use it to escape, you could use it to engage, but this, I just feel kind of sucks. This kind of just sucks. So I'd rather be able to place where I go. The next thing I want to do, right click, right? I'm going to take out the 50 overshield it gives me, okay? But what I'm going to do is give it Storm Surge's properties. I'm going to give it that it electrocutes the enemy once you're hit with right click. So like, I wish I can move. Let me see. There you go. See that little electrocution he's taking? Basically damage over time. That's what I'm going to do with my right click, and it slows down the enemy. I mean, you're electrocuted, you're not going to be moving full speed. So your right click is going to be more of a CC ability. Now, your Storm Surge ability is going to give you the overshield your right click would have given you. Okay? So you're just flipping places here. And Storm Surge is now going to act like a shield, but more like a dueling ring. So anyone who is inside the Storm Surge, right, can damage Thor. Anyone outside of it cannot. So like right now, I'll be protected if I'm Thor. Right now, I'll be protected if I'm Thor. Here, I would not be protected. It's a duel to the death. Okay? It's a one-on-one. When you use it, you get 50 overshield, but obviously to offset that, we're going to increase the cooldown on Storm Surge. I think it's around 12, let's see, it's around 9 seconds. It's going to go up to, let's do 12 seconds. I think 12 seconds is fair. To the Merc with the mouth. Let's fucking go. Alright, so basically, Deadpool, to me, his shield is useless. It's one of the, like, the least things that you upgrade for Deadpool, right? So basically, what I'm doing is his upgraded version, which, see if I could just get it by doing this real quick. Okay, perfect. So by getting that upgrade, this is going to be Deadpool's primary shield now. Without upgrade. That's going to be the shield. Now, when you upgrade the shield, it's going to be a throwable flat wall. Okay, kind of like Reinhardt's shield in Overwatch, where it's big and flat, takes up a lot of space, but it's going to be throwable. Okay, kind of like his right click is. That is the improvement to the shield, because I just think that's not enough. I just think that's not enough. Circular, to me, is not good enough. Base form, yes, but upgraded form that I'm actually having to waste an upgrade slot, it needs to be a better shield, and it'll be like that. You can shoot through the shield, the enemy cannot shoot back. That is the important part of that shield. Okay, next, we are going to, let's get his thing again. I should have just upgraded him. The next thing we're going to do is give him another buff. Okay, so his right click in sword form gets you 6 slashes. Each of these slashes will now grant you 50 overshield. So you can have, if you hit all of them, 300 extra HP. Okay. However, to offset this, we're going to reduce his base HP to 450. So he's losing 50 HP. So at max, you can have 750 to be kind of like Hulk, Penny, those type of characters. Another thing we're going to do is increase Deadpool's damage resistance in this. I think his gun form is good enough. It's very strong. It gains alt charge. It does a lot of damage. I want to buff his sword form. Okay? As you can tell. I want to buff his sword form because that's what I like to play. Rogue. And Rogue, her ultimate says... But does she really though? Okay. Because the only time you're able to steal is if the opponent is over 80%. We're not doing that anymore. If... Okay. Enemy has any alt charge, it's getting stolen. Okay. I take everything, not I take a little. Okay. Enemy has 40% alt charge, it's getting drained all the way until the ultimate's over if they're within the radius. Enemy has 100%, it works the same, but it doesn't stop at 80%. It continues to go. Okay. That is what I want for Rogue's ultimate. Another thing I want to get for Rogue. This ability, its cooldown is way too long. It's way too long. It's 25 seconds for a character with no ability, and then for a character with an ability, it's 30 seconds. That's ridiculous. Lower the cooldown by 5 to 7 seconds. The Rogue ability is literally stealing powers. We should be able to do it more often. Okay. Next. The next thing I want to do for Rogue is give her a bit more health. And the next thing I want to do for Rogue after that is increase her shield. Her uptime on her shield. Rogue is very brawly. She's in your face. She takes a lot of damage. Okay, and she doesn't have a lot of sustain. So, her shield, being able to hold it for at least an extra second and a half, I feel will give Rogue a bit more survivability to be able to stay in the fight and be an absolute menace. Okay? There had to have been a Rogue joke in there, right? I just had to have missed it. But with that being said, I think that's all the tanks in the game. I try to make this video pretty fast because I know the last one was kind of a yap session, so I'm kind of sorry for your guys' ears. But let me know, who was your favorite change? Am I like literally losing my marbles? Am I like completely like out of touch with some of these changes? The main thing I wanted to do is have people have to actually interact with the character and not just be rewarded for pressing a button. And obviously some of the things no one will agree with probably any of the things I said, but I hope like at least you could understand a bit of my reasoning on some of them, you know. And if anyone does have a question, let me know. I'll be happy to answer it in the comment section. If you guys want this for DPS or supports, let me know as well. I'll be happy to do it. Supports or DPS would really like take a long time. Obviously there's like 30 DPS in the game. So the next one will be supports. If you guys want to see it, let me know. And with all that being said, let me know. W or L changes. Was I cooking my Gordon Ramsay or my Bobby Flay? You know. So hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.